Volcanoes, they're some of the most powerful and, let's be honest, dramatic forces on our entire planet. They can literally create new land right before our eyes, but they can also cause unbelievable destruction. So that leads to a huge question. How in the world do scientists figure out where these things might show up? To get to the bottom of it, we've got to follow the clues, and that investigation starts with the two-faced nature of volcanoes themselves.
All right, so our investigation kicks off with this really fundamental contradiction. Volcanoes are these incredible creators and, at the same time, absolutely terrifying destroyers. Understanding this duality, well, that's the first step to really grasping their power.
I mean, on one hand, you have this amazing creative force. Look at Kilauea in Hawaii. Its lava flows cool down and turn into new rock, literally making the island bigger. But on the flip side, a big eruption can just choke the air with poisonous gas and superheated ash, burying absolutely everything in its path.
And the impact isn't just local, it can be global. Take the eruption of Mount Tambora in 1815. It was so ridiculously huge that it blasted tons and tons of ash high up into the atmosphere. That ash cloud spread around the entire world, blocking sunlight, causing temperatures to drop, and leading people to call 1816 the year without a summer. Wild, right?
Okay, so we've seen their incredible power, no doubt about that. But to figure out where they form, we need to pop the hood and really understand the engine that makes them go. So, what is a volcano, really? At its heart, it's just a vent, a crack in the Earth's crust. But over thousands, even millions of years, every time it erupts, it adds another layer of molten rock and ash. And slowly, layer by layer, it builds up into that classic mountain shape we all picture in our heads. And here's the engine room. Deep, deep underground, there's a magma chamber, which is basically this giant cavern full of molten rock from the mantle. The heat and pressure down there are immense, and they force that magma upwards. Once it breaks through to the surface, we call it lava. And every single eruption adds a new layer, making that volcano bigger and bigger over time. Of course, not all volcanoes are blowing their tops right now. Scientists have a simple way to classify them. If a volcano has erupted any time in the last 10,000 years, like Italy's famous Mount Vesuvius, it's considered active. If it's active but it's been quiet for a while, kind of sleeping, we call it dormant. And if it's been silent for more than 10,000 years, it's pretty safe to say it's extinct. So now we get the mechanics, right? But that still leaves our big mystery. Where do these things actually form? Well, the first major clue doesn't come from looking at just one volcano, but from zooming out and looking at all of them at once. So let's think about this. If volcanoes form over cracks and weak spots in the crust, where would you expect to find them? Are they just scattered randomly all over the globe? Or is there some kind of method to the madness? Well, when geologists finally mapped out all the world's volcanoes, the result was absolutely stunning. They are not random at all, not even close. The vast majority of them form in these very distinct lines, and the most obvious one is this massive arc that hugs the coastlines all around the Pacific Ocean. This incredible pattern has a name, and it is the key to cracking the first and biggest part of our case. This amazing chain of volcanoes is known as the Ring of Fire. And get this, it's home to over 450 active volcanoes just on land. And who knows how many more are hiding under the sea. So the big question is, why here? What's so special about this ring? Well, the Ring of Fire is basically tracing the edges of Earth's massive tectonic plates. Specifically, it's where the giant Pacific plate is crashing into and sliding underneath other plates. These crash zones are called subduction zones, and all that friction and heat literally melts rock, creating the magma that fuels this entire chain of volcanoes. But hold on, our investigation isn't over yet. Because if you look really closely at that map, you'll spot some oddballs, volcanoes that are nowhere near a plate boundary. They're just sitting out in the middle of a plate. How is that even possible? The answer is a really cool phenomenon called a hotspot. The best way to picture it is to imagine a giant stationary blowtorch deep within the Earth's mantle. It's this fixed plume of super hot rock that just burns its way up through the crust from below, creating a volcano right in the middle of a plate, miles and miles from any edge. And the Hawaiian Islands are the poster child for this process. The hotspot itself doesn't move, but the Pacific plate is slowly, constantly sliding over it like a conveyor belt. So a volcano forms an island, the plate carries it away from the hotspot,
That volcano goes dormant, and a brand new one starts forming right over the hotspot. This process is what created the entire island chain, one island at a time, over millions of years.
Okay, time for a really fun fact. If I ask you what the highest mountain in the world is, you'd say Mount Everest, right? Stands at 29,029 feet above sea level.
But what if I told you that Mauna Loa, a volcano on the hotspot-formed island of Hawaii, is actually taller? If you measure it from its true base, way down on the deep ocean floor, all the way to its peak, it's over 33,000 feet tall. So what's the trick? It all comes down to one little distinction. Everest is the highest mountain because its peak reaches the highest altitude above sea level. But Mauna Loa is the tallest mountain from its base to its peak. It's just that most of its incredible size is hidden under the ocean. It's a pretty amazing trick of perspective, isn't it? All right, let's wrap this up with our final case study. We've seen volcanoes at the edges of plates and in the middle of oceans, but some of the biggest volcanic systems on Earth are hiding in plain sight, right under our feet.
So many of us have been to Yellowstone National Park. It looks so peaceful, so beautiful and serene. But what you might not realize is that this entire vast landscape is sitting right on top of North America's largest hotspot. All of Yellowstone's famous features, the geysers, the hot springs, Old Faithful itself, they're all created by one thing: the intense heat coming from an enormous magma chamber lurking just beneath the park. Geologists call this a supervolcano. And this diagram, it just gives you a sense of how massive that pool of magma really is, powering everything we see on the surface.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. We know that southeast of Hawaii, a new underwater volcano called Lohi is growing right now. In tens of thousands of years, it's going to be the next Hawaiian island. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other massive, world-changing geological events are happening as we speak, slowly and silently, just beneath our feet?